Now we're going to jump over to talk to Amy, who gave a talk about getting to know you, how customer deep dives work at Seco. So hello, Amy.
Hi, nice to meet you properly.
Nice to meet you. And we have a cat as well.
Yes, one of my cats has joined me. Hopefully, the other one will stay in bed asleep, but you never know. Apologies if they interrupt.
No worries. Always good to see pets. Um, yeah, so what I loved about your talk was getting everybody involved. It's that, and I think Pavitra touched on earlier, like get the developers in early. And I've seen so many places where it's the opposite. It's just developers at the end. Uh,
Mm.
so I really liked that kind of how you talked about how you structure and do that. Um, so one of the things I'm just going to ask, probably more on the operational side. So if somebody was to take this on, how do you source and get the kind of clients and people to talk to, and how do you avoid, because that's a kind of a big scary overhead, and it'll often just get pushed to the side.
Mm. So I think at Seckle, we're very lucky that we are business to business. So the people we're talking to are actually our clients, and they have a vested interest in giving us as much feedback as possible because it gets us aware of their problems and helps us prioritize their problems. Um, we also have a bank of people who are end users. So obviously we provide our products to our clients and they use part of it, but then there's another set of users who use our clients' products, they think, in stealth mode. It's us. And so we have gathered those people via social media. And what we do each time, so our clients obviously give us their time as part of our working relationship, and it is fantastic. Um, the people we have sourced via social media, you would normally see paying incentives for them, basically, but we tend to use charitable incentives instead. It just fits with our ethos a little bit more. Give us some of your time and we'll make a significant donation to a charity on your behalf.
That's great. And is there much overhead for you in doing that, or is that something that's largely just kind of you've automated that in the background and you're just
Honestly, yeah, I think it's just a case of getting people in the right place at the right time, which is fairly easy. We have regular meetings with our customers anyway, our clients anyway. Um, it feels very easy to organize personally.
great? Well, that's something that I know it's for a lot of teams. It's kind of it gets parked because it just gets pushed off. So if you can follow those kind of techniques, just do the upfront work. It'll pay off in terms of getting your pipeline going.
Yeah, they're invaluable to us, these sessions. So it makes so much sense to have them that the little bit of work you do have to put in to get them organized and get anything in place for them is just negotiated out by the benefits.
Great. And then when you're running the actual session, you said it's kind of unstructured, that you just say you're going to observe what the people are doing. Does that always work, or do you need to get a bit more structured in terms of focusing on particular areas?
It really depends on the client and their mood that day. If I'm perfectly honest, that's a little bit of the unknown. But actually, that's the best part about it, because if you've got a client who is in the mood to chat, then myself or whoever's running that session will spend a lot of the time being quiet and listening. However, if a client is having a tough day or not in a space where they can easily discuss things, then you just unpack the reasons behind that, and it gives you the insights. We don't go into the sessions with a goal in mind very much because we don't want to lead them. These are big, wide discovery sessions. Oh, I've bored my cat. They just, how to describe this? Um, they they just allow us to uncover anything that's bothering the client at that moment. And in so doing so, we just have this ethnographic style of, it's not us leading them, it's them coming to us with problems or things that are going really well as well. It's very natural.
And how often does it go off track then if you don't really have a particular goal or agenda? So let's say they're just in a bad mood because traffic was horrendous. Back when people commuted, traffic was horrendous, or something happened, pipe burst at home, or something like that. So it's nothing actually in any way related to your product.
Yeah.
How do you get pulled off track sometimes, and how do you get it back relevant to you?
You can ask guiding questions. So those instances, those things that are happening, do actually inform some of your design decisions anyway. Like if you know that people are regularly having short amounts of time, or they're distracted, or their environment is continuously changing, then you're going to make design decisions based on those insights. So they're insights in themselves. But you can ask simple guiding questions like, and how has that affected your workday? Is there anything you've had to drop out of your workday because of that? So just keeping really open questions, being quite reactive. And as the person kind of doing the interview, you just have to stay ready for anything. And I love it. I think that's why we get so much out of them, that we can just adapt to any situation and keep asking questions that get us insights.
Great. And yeah, so I classify now, correct me if I'm wrong here, it's more generative research where you're just trying to unpack things. Do you do evaluative research as well?
Yes. So we have separate research that is very much targeting a new feature or an idea we have, or testing some prototypes or wireframes even, and that is very much separate. These sessions are, very good at giving us innovative ideas, getting to understand exactly what is going on in our client's life without them thinking of a solution, if that makes sense. That they're coming to us with a pure problem. They're not coming to us and saying, oh, can you just make it so that this works this way, please? Or this is a bug, can you fix it? It's this process that we were going through took us a bit longer than I expected. Let me show you the process. Let's talk it through. I'll share my screen. You can see exactly what I'm doing. And that's that. And we say, thank you so much for that information. And then we go away and we work as product teams, engineering teams, customer teams to come up with an idea that could help with that friction.
Great. And then just on that, is there a risk, or how do you manage the risk that if they say, I'm going to show you on your system, then you've already kind of you've limited the scope of options because they're going to talk about your system versus the problem might actually be separate to the system, or something that you need to do separately in order to solve the problem?
Yeah, that's a great question. And actually, it's in how we would prompt them to tell us about that problem. We want to know their entire process. So they start by describing, well, this client of theirs, these are financial advisors, let's take this as an example. One of my clients wanted to do this, and they wanted to, transfer from this platform to this platform. I was going through that process. So our product is a small part of that process. And we get to see through their anecdotal or their real examples the whole lot of it. And I think that's why it's great to keep it away from just looking at a feature, because you do get that whole story, even from, I was late to work because I was stuck in traffic. And so I rushed to do this, and I had my iPad on me only because my laptop's being worked on or something. I managed to do this task, and all of that kind of extra information that you wouldn't normally get if you're just showing, here's a prototype, can you show us using it?
Great. Well, I really enjoyed that. I actually have loads more questions, so I might post some in the Ask the Speakers. And that's also for the audience. Please do post any questions in Ask the Speakers if you have any questions for Amy or any of our other speakers. But thank you very much, Amy, and really enjoyed that. Thank
Thank
you.
you.